Hi. So this is a story that happened to me a long time ago, and it was a pretty good trick. I mean, I love the trick, and this guy totally just like was being a jerk. Is how this is the story. So I had a deck of cards. Let me give my deck just a look. I said I had a deck of cards. And he goes, I'm gonna go. I'll shuffle it. Give it a cut. Shuffled it. Give it another cut. Shuffled it again. Nope. Shuffled it again. Cut it again. And I'll give it some more cuts. And then I shuffled it one last time. And this guy's like, and I said, I'm going to find all the spades. Every spade in this whole deck, I'm going to pull it out in a row. And he's like, wait. And I was like, what? And he's like, let me see it first. And I'm like, oh, great. And he's like, let me do some cards. And I was like, He's like, these cards I want to keep. And I was like, you can't keep the cards. And he's like, well, I can. And I was like, no, dude, just give me back the cards. He's like, fine. If I can't keep the cards, then let me at least mix them. And I was like, you know what, this trick is okay if he mixes the cards. So he starts with the ones in his hand. I was like, dude, you gotta do them all. And he's like, well, I'll mix up the ones in my hands first. And he's like, and I was like, and I'll do what? He's like, you know what, never mind. And I was like, oh, right. He's like, I'm gonna mix them up. And I was like, well, most people normally just mix them up like this. And he's like, well, I mix them up a little bit different. He takes them and he takes right side up and upside down and totally mixes them together. And he mixes those together, and I'm like, what is he doing? This is how you ruin a deck of cards. And he mixes them together, and he spreads them out, and he says, alright, that's one, and then he takes this packet, flips it over, shuffles it into another one. And I'm like, come on. And then he flips this packet over, alright, and shuffles this packet into it. By this time, he spreads out my deck of cards, and he's like, haha, that's all jumbled up. Let's see you do the magic trick now. And I was like, well, instead of just finding the cards, here's what I'm going to do. You can see that this whole deck's jumbled up, right? He said, here's what I'll do. I said, I'm going to turn over all the cards. So on the count of three, ready? 1, 2, 3. I spread out the cards. He starts laughing. Let me spread out those things. And he starts laughing at me. And I'm like, why are you laughing? He's like, you said you were going to make all the cards face up, and some are not. And I was like, no, you don't make finish. I said I was going to make them all face up, except for all the spades. And I snap my fingers again, spread them out, and I show what looks like this. King, Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the ace of spades. And you can see that that is all. I showed him this. And this guy, by the end of that, actually, King, Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, whoops, dropped a card, sorry, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the ace of spades. He said that by the end of that, he actually believed in magic. If you would like to learn that trick, I may do it, so you just tell me if you want me to. do that trick. You want me to make a tutorial. I don't know if you liked it. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But that is my story. And thanks. I'm going to do one more story because I don't really have to go yet. And this is another story trick. I really enjoy story tricks because they give the person a sense like, this actually happened, this is going to be good. So let me get out some cards real fast. Now the only thing that I don't tell most people when I show them my deck of cards is I have dupes. And what a dupe is it's a duplicate card. A duplicate card is, say, two of the same cards, same suit. So what I did was I took a card out of another deck and put it into this one so that I could cheat in some tricks. This trick I don't actually cheat. I just use the 2 kings. So I actually have 1 king of spades, 2 king of spades, as you can see, and I have a queen of diamonds. Here's what happened. This guy, okay, I was sitting at the park, and my mom normally tells me never to talk to strangers, and so most of the time I don't. But this old man was sitting next to me. He's like, "You want to play a game?" And I was like, "I was so bored." So I was like, "You know what? Whatever." And so he's like, "All right, I have 1, 2, and 3 cards." So you can see that is it. He spread them, and I knew there was only 3 cards. There was only 3 cards here. And he says, "I got 1 king of spades, 2 king of spades." And I was like, "That's weird, 2 king of spades." And he's like, "And I have a queen of diamonds." He said, "All you have to do is follow the queen of diamonds." He said it on the top, but real fast, he took that queen of diamonds and he brought it to the bottom. He's like, but he tried to do it really fast, so I didn't see what I saw. And he's like, "Where's the queen of diamonds?" And I said, "Haha, it's at the bottom." He flipped all the cards over and he said, "Nope, that's a king." And he said, "It's alright, I'll give you another chance. Do you think it's at the top or the middle?" I said the top. He flips over the top card nice and slowly. He shows us the king. And he says, "It's okay, I'll let you get your money back, double or nothing, if you can tell me where it is now." And I said, "Well, that's obvious, it's in the middle." He flipped it over and he showed it was a king. So what this guy just showed me was there was 1, 2, 3 kings. So if you just saw 1, 2, 3 kings, and this guy was supposed to be telling you that there was a queen somewhere, and then he showed me that queen, I'm like, this makes no sense. He said, "I'm going to make it easier. All you got to do is follow, tell me where a queen is, okay?" And so he took the queen. He said, "I'll take the queen. I'll place it in the middle. Where do you think a king is?" And I was like, "All right, there must be a king at the bottom." He said, "Sorry, that's a queen." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "That's all right, I'll give you another chance. There's only 1 queen." And I was like, "So it must be at the top." He's like, "Nope, that's a queen." And I was like, "Wait." And he's like, "Where did I put the queen in the middle?" And he's like, and I was like, "Oh, the queen must be in the middle." I was like, "No, I told you the first, I put the queen in the middle." So this guy, being an idiot that he is, showed that there was 1, 2, 3 queens, and there was also 1, 2, 3 kings. He said there's a king at the bottom, there's a king at the top, and there's a king in the middle. He said, but there's also a queen at the bottom, a queen at the top, and a queen in the middle. And then he said, "Would you pay me?" And you know, he said, "If I tell you how this is done, will you promise never to tell anybody?" And I said, "All right, whatever." And he said, "I cheat." He says, "I actually use jokers. And these jokers are actually wild cards. As you know, jokers can be turned into anything." And he says, "But I actually have one, 2, 3 jokers I'm playing with. So if I have 1, 2, 3 jokers, I can turn it into a, say, king. And then if I give it another blow, I can turn it into a queen." And I was like, "Oh, I see how you do that." And I was like, "Yeah." And then just with a little shake, it's back to the joker. It's a little trick. It's called a wild card. So 1, 2, 3 jokers, 1 at the bottom, 1 at the top, and 1 in the middle, makes this trick work. And then, this is what killed me. He said, if I snap my fingers, I can get it to split up into 3 cards, 1 of each. And that's how that went. And I can tell you that there is only 3 cards that I use in this trick, I guarantee you. And it is all sleight of hand. If you like that, then like it. And I will, if you really, really want me to, I'll do a tutorial. But that's a pretty hard trick. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for watching my story video. And those are just a couple. I have a couple more that I don't do a lot, but I do it. So if you want to see more stories, I'll show you that. And then if you want me to do a tutorial for any one of those, just tell me. Alright, bye.